Arrow does consolidate everything. That means they don't get the double that they were expecting. We get the buffs on the Craven as it happened. Shang-Chi. Craven was not big enough. Cosmo came in. They wanted the Surfer, but then he's completely picked by their own Cosmo. And they had the Absorbing Man to come in, so they were going to Surfer twice and then Absorbing Man Surfer a thrice time. Wow. Welcome back, my friends, to Marvel Snap. This is the free-to-play account that we run here at the channel. As you guys can see, we have reached infinite. We did so without access to Thanos, without access to Shuri. We did it with 3 decks. I'm going to throw in a 4th deck as an honorable mention for you guys, one that has always performed well for the free-to-play climb. We're going to have timestamps down below if you want to scrub through our different decks. We're going to talk pros and cons of matchups and the breakdown for all the decks. Get a quick gameplay showcase in for them as well. Let's start right in here for the main workhorse that we use here on the channel, Zabu Moonzu, but the free-to-play version. I had a full video breaking down this deck, but it was the pay-to-win version with the Zabu swapped in for the Viper. If you want the free-to-play alternative, we run the Viper here to be able to do something with the hood and have that little bit of extra efficiency on that line. Of course, if you have the Zabu, then I'd recommend running him here because of the decrease in cost on the Shang-Chi, Kazar, and Moon Girl, really going to be able to help you out there. This deck is so much fun to be able to pilot. It has the efficient core of Zoo, and then it is bringing in a twist on the hand buff archetype. Rather than improving the power of cards in hand, we are cultivating a hand of very energy-efficient plays in the She-Hulk and in the Demon. Moon Girl being able to just spam out, copy just the most desirable cards for us so that we have this huge final turn dump that we're able to just blast our opponent with. The Quinjet is a real workhorse as well, able to give us the extra energy efficiency, the free demons, and then also the energy efficiency on any of the duplicated cards because of Moon Girl. If we get to the point where we have 2 She-Hulks, 2 demons, I mean, this is absolutely a winning final turn. We can be dropping upwards of 30 points on our final turn, and it just comes together so beautifully, and it still fits in control cards like Cosmo, Goose to restrict the opponent because so many of our plays are very energy efficient. You could swap this out for the armor. If you're running Zabu, definitely take the Goose. If you're not running Zabu, it's on parity with the armor and the Goose here. And then, of course, also the Shang-Chi to be able to knock over the opponents as well. Honestly, Moon Girl duplicating Shang-Chi for 2 Shang-Chi plays has won me games as well, not just relying on the OP-ness of She-Hulk and Demons. The Shang-Chi control card can come through very clutch. Jumping in here to be able to get our showcase, we're presented with Sewer Systems immediately, but this is a great opening hand for us. Quinjet, Hood, Moon Girl, exactly what we love to see. We'll develop the Quinjet first, set up Hood to be able to get our free Demon, and then Moon Girl for the double Demon setup that is so coveted for this deck. So we have the list up above. There are a number of flex slots that you can tinker around with, like I said, Goose, Cosmo, Viper, and even the Rocket. They're all a little flexy. The Goose, you're trying to run some kind of protection. Maybe you run armor, maybe you run Goose. The Cosmo, some other kind of control. The Viper could be the Zabu or another efficient 2-cost. And then the Rocket Raccoon, a lot of people are subbing out for Titania. It does bind you into just holding the Titania for the final turn drop, but it is more powerful. I have to say it is more powerful. I just like having the proactive ability. Oh! I like having the proactive ability on the Rocket to play him early if the situation is presented. Let's go ahead and put Cosmo down mid. Yeah, I suppose so. And we drew the She-Hulk. Moon Girl next turn going to be able to copy She-Hulk, She-Hulk, Demon, Demon. 12-point She-Hulk, no less. 8-point free demons. Choo! They're gonna mess up our tactic. It always happens. Come on. No battle plan survives contact with the enemy. What are you gonna do to mess me up? The only thing that could have possibly been better is if we were able to develop, man, big Patriot, if we had been able to develop the Sunspot instead of this Cosmo. But here we go. If we could draw Sunspot next turn, I would be pretty happy with that. But here goes. Moon Girl to Sewer System, yes. Great thing about Patriot is they don't mess with you. They just do their own game. They just only care about their half of the board. I guess some Patriots had been running Cosmo, and I've occasionally seen Shang-Chi included as well, but that is few and far between. You're not setting up for Ultron with that Squirrel Girl play. Do you have Doctor Doom as your finisher, or are you going to Onslaught? Were you worried about control, which is why you spread up the... Why would you Onslaught if you knew that you had... If you split them? I guess it's Doctor Doom finish? I don't know. So what do we want to develop? If we play Kazar, I only pass on 2 power, meaning this one's going to be 4, this one would be 3. Too much. I think I actually just play a free demon here to give me open space to draw in to another tool. And otherwise, pass on 5 energy. Blue Marvel. Excellent play, my opponent. Excellent play. Free She-Hulk. 1-cost She-Hulk. Free Demon. Hazar. Shang-Chi. Are we concerned about needing to kill anything that they play? I don't know, not really. Shulky, Demon, Kazar to buff the ones, and then is it better just to go, if I'm going all in, where do you make your play? Because we could just bring the She-Hulk over here on the right. Something like this. Completely abandon the sewer system. What gets big enough here at the big house to stop me? That's the big question of the big house. If you are Doctor Doom and you put a 9-power Doombot that puts you up to 25, I'm bringing myself up to 23, 24, 25 with the Kazar buffs. So I tie, take it to margin of victory. That could get a little sketchy, but I think that is my move. Anything less, and I'm gold. Omega Red. What? Shocker? Omega Red on the Patriot. Now there is a spicy flip. Didn't stand a chance up against our final turn, but I do admire that deck building. Alright, roll what you got for us. I grab a Gambit out of Camp Lehigh. If I had a Quinjet, it would be interesting. Gambit always lets you have the Hail Mary. If he hits just the right card, you might be able to take it. Baits people into a lot of bad plays, honestly. So my advice if you are trying to climb is do not trust in Gambits. Ant-Man develops here. We can go into Goose or Viper. Look to play the Zoo style with Kazar here. Bar Sinister. Okay, hang on. If you Hood Viper together at the bar, it's incredible, right? Because you get hoods, you get 3 hoods, and then the Viper comes, kicks 1, creates another, kicks the other. So they're sitting with 2 hoods. You have 1, and then the rest of your field is Vipers. Maybe that's not that good. They still kind of want to do it. We'll just play Goose over here. We could also Kazar to Bar Sinister, and it's the poor man's Blue Marvel Bar Sinister shenanigans that when Bar Sinister was a featured location, caused so much heartache. Alright, Hood Viper. I like the play. I guess it really burns us if the second Viper kicks the first one. But as long as we kick another Hood, which odds on we do, feels pretty nice. Chokes up their positioning. They're not able to high roll nearly as much. Now, being able to get into Morag, we combo a lot of cards together into the final turn. We just need to draw into cards that we would want to combo, but which should be quite doable for us. And with Ant-Man, Hood, Demon in hand, the Kazar could be a great candidate for the Bar Sinister play, but so could She-Hulk. Those are our 2 right now. Zero's out Titania. Okay. That means that Shuri... Would Shuri play to Bar Sinister? Maybe she would. We'll see. Alright, 3 demons in hand. Extra Viper. Kicks the hood. Yeah, it feels nice. Feels very nice. Do I just Kazar on bar though? I could, but I hate just filling the location immediately like that. I also don't really want to lay the Cosmo down to block up our Shang-Chi. We could invest in like 2 demons here. We could invest in all 3 demons here. Doesn't look like, I mean, sure, I could top deck Quinjet. Will I top deck Quinjet? Odds are against it. We'll just drop our demons here. 3 energy, 18 points. Yeah, that feels like a great turn for us. That feels like a marvelous turn for us. Here's Shuri. Sunspot. Oh no, didn't find the Shuri? Hanging in there. It's just spiting me at this point. That's all it is. Alright. Though, to be fair, if they did Shuri, they would have been forced to play onto the Bar Sinister, and then they could have gotten locked into a world where they never got into Morag, because the Goose would prevent the Shuri from going to Camp Lehigh. So obviously that card could not have been the Shuri. I really love how Goose cramps down on the opponent, and honestly, I often miss how effective it can be. Let's just go Kazar here. Run it down mid. Run down mid or full pass. I don't like either of those options. Sure. Kazar on mid. I'm holding the Quinjet to be able to combo with Shang-Chi next turn. We could have passed on the hopes of drawing She-Hulk, but again, counting on the top deck is not recommended. Well, there we go. Sunspot's so big it could have gotten knocked over by the Shang-Chi if it weren't for the Goose. Interesting, interesting. What are their final play going to be? It's going to be She-Hulk and then a Taskmaster. Where does the Taskmaster go? Taskmaster goes right over here to Morag. I think. Could be wrong, but this is where the Cosmo can lock it up for us. And just have great pressure across the entire board anyway. Put the Quinjet in for margin of victory. We're scoring the +3 on the Ant-Man to be able to get the go-ahead here to Camp Lehigh if they don't play anything. See how things reveal. We're also putting the debuff on their Lizard. Do we make the call or do we make the call? Oh, it feels good to be good, chat. It feels good to be good. I'm surprised that Cosmo did not find a way into a Shuri counter deck in a more upfront way in the meta. He's really been a sleeper this season. So there we are, Zabu Moonzu without the Zabu in this iteration. That climbed us 10 ranks this season. Well, with the current iteration of the bonus 50 cubes every time you hit 10, we had 20 ranks that we had to cover ourselves. We gained another 5 out of, now we've got a number of great free-to-play candidates here. We actually went back to the old flame. We were playing movement. Yes, movement. This list right here is incredibly well optimized for a movement deck being able to climb up against the meta. If you're seeing a lot of Shuri control, yeah, the Human Torch is going to be in trouble. But honestly, this season I haven't seen too much of it, and it is the Absorbing Man getting dropped down into Series 3 that really brings this deck up. You have so many great lines to be able to follow. Your movement carries can get out of hand very quickly, and it's in the movement activators, the Cloak, the Iron Fist, and the Doctor Strange that you normally come up short, and hence the Absorbing Man to be able to copy those guys be able to get the extra movements in, which is where the carries can really get out of control. You also have a line of being able to arrow, control the opponent off to the side, and then copy that with the Absorbing Man as long as you have found early tempo. The Storm is a crucial piece as well, a location fixer, which has always been an Achilles heel for the movement deck. It also puts a ton of pressure on a lot of the popular meta decks right now. Shuri doesn't really do anything on turn 4, which is the pivotal turn for deciding the stormed location. You can usually be able to out-tempo them at that point, and then you just have to use all the rest of your deck to find a win at one other location. Use the arrow to be able to lock something up in that position. Also, Thanos really likes his open boards to keep on just clogging it up with all of the stones, so losing a location early to the storm that then he can only get into with the blue stone is going to hold him back as well. And so we've got the Heimdall finisher and the Magneto as well. If you get leeched, Magneto is going to be able to stand in there and still be a great stat drop. And also the Magneto is great to be able to go to in the position where you don't necessarily want the Heimdall shuffle. Having an alternate play option than just Heimdall on the final turn is crucial for movement. Let's dive in here. Getting in here with a movement, Heimdall, Kraven, Cloak, Storm. The Kraven, very underappreciated carry card in the right situation if we're able to develop him early, which in this situation we are. We're going to go Kraven to Stark Tower. Next turn, we can Torch, Cloak together, move to the side, be able to buff Kraven and double the Human Torch. That sets them both to 4, meaning that they could both still be grabbed by a Doctor Strange, where this Absorbing Man could then copy the Cloak. This is where the Absorbing Man definitely coming in clutch. So, Human Torch, and then Cloak to mid, Cloak to Eternity range after turn 3. That's after this turn. I'll Cloak now to Eternity range. Yes. It's always... Oh, you're gonna move the Kraven? Okay. Moving him early doesn't hurt me. Man, if Polaris had been able to grab like a Vulture Dagger, man, that'd be incredible. Move a Torch. Play a Abs Man. Does have those abs. Teach me. So, Human Torch going up to 4. Kraven going up to 4. Everybody's 4. Man, a Doctor Strange would have hit the spot. But now we're going to have the Cloak on Necrotia. We can move Human Torch, Kraven again, get the buffs. We can Heimdall at the end, and then Arrow in the meantime to set up our play. We'll see what else we find. Doctor Strange to get one more reposition on the Human Torch could come in clutch as well. Very combo heavy deck. You have to be quite adaptable, and you have to be always thinking a couple steps ahead. So here we go. Torch. Well, I'll move the Kraven first. I don't think the order matters. But if I move you, and then if I move Cloak, I get the extra buff on the Kraven. It just leaves me searching for how Heimdall wins me the game at the end of this. Or maybe not. Alright, let's go for it. Cloak, Torch, drop, Dagger, drop, Storm. I could Arrow. The Dagger will be able to scale though, but will she ever scale past the 7-point stat line here? I like the idea of putting the Arrow to force this play the opponent makes to Eternity range, which is the location that I'm planning on abandoning anyway. But actually, if that's the case, I should undo one play. Yeah, just Kraven and Human Torch, and then Arrow over here. Will the doubling out of Human Torch be enough? He's up to 8, going to 16, and the Kraven's gonna buff as well. Ooh.
All systems go.
Opponent thought they had the hard counter. That is not the case. All right, Heimdall locks us up. And I'll go ahead and put it to the Necrotia. Human Torch, I mean, if you don't have the Killmonger, you will pay the price. What a pull on the Arrow. What a pull. Would not have been able to happen if we were behind an initiative. Not a lot of people running the Professor X. The Professor X devastates the movement decks, but it's not common enough for me to fear it in the meta. And they accept here. That was a position where I mean, we're so far ahead. The snap would have been fine. But also, you're going to move Absorbing Man back. Sure. And we lap it up. I think if I snapped, it would have scared them off. I'll take my 2 cubes instead of my 1. Doctor Strange, Heimdall, and the dagger. Getting a little bit of a different look here. I'm going to move. Do I put Iron Fist right here? Depending on how many cards the opponent plays, I really want Doctor Strange to be able to grab dagger. Maybe I actually put Iron Fist over here. Ooh, player 1, how many cards are you planning on deploying to Mer Island? Means a lot to me to know. Because Dagger is going to be able to buff herself based on the cards that you play. Please, if you have anything early, you have to play it to Mer Island in this situation. If my Doctor Strange is not able to move the dagger, I'll be quite sad. Alright, we'll take the punch now. Dagger will be able to buff herself based on unrevealed cards, by the way. They don't have to be revealed in initiative order for her to be able to grab the buffs. Here we grab nothing but pull it. Oh. Moves Iron Fist. Perfect. Now if it had grabbed the dagger, that would have been amazing for us. Of course, didn't happen. But now... Yeah. Doctor Strange, her... back to the Baxter building. The opponent want to play into Baxter building. We shall see. This way... Nope, they want to go down mid with the Wong. Okay. I am now sensing that I should probably Magneto to disrupt the Wong location on 5. That still gives me this turn to be able to move Miss Dagger. Pretty sure Kraven will not get buffed in this situation. Yeah, I don't think he does. I still want him here on mid though. I could have put him on Mer Island too. With Heimdall coming in. But if he moves alongside the cards with the Heimdall... Anyway, it'll be fine. It'll be fine, he says. Sera. Great energy efficiency out of the opponent here. And a free Human Torch, you don't say. Human Torch loves Mer Island so much, but he doesn't want Mer Island on the far left. We will not be able to take advantage. I think I just hold him here so that I can play him alongside the Heimdall. Do I have anything else I would be able to play? Yeah, I could get the Cloak. Cloak, Heimdall, Human Torch. That's a great finish. But here I'm planning on the opponent playing to Elysium, taking advantage of the Wong, and then oopsies. Magneto says no, Wong is somewhere else. Never mind. Completely different play from the opponent. I am a fool. Goose, Killmonger. Well, good thing we didn't decide to play the Human Torch now. Always nice to be able to wait. Arrow. Arrow just... Did she just win? Here's the problem. They are 4 cards in hand with a Sera deck. They're going to be able to play all 4 with the combo of Sera Elysium. That means they can just fill whatever spaces. And then Arrow to Mer Island doesn't feel like it's the play. Well, if I give up on Baxter building, then I'm hurting. I'm hurting everywhere else. Maybe it's actually just Arrow to stay up another 7. Human Torch. 15-0. Nothing can be hit by Shang-Chi. I don't know. I am interested in what the arrow could do for me. Can you pull the crucial Wong doubled up card away? I think this is a little better in this position. Otherwise, if we Heimdall, we get the buffs on Dagger and Kraven. But I think either one. You could go either one. But it means that we would be fighting against Baxter building rather than it helping us out. So we're going to make this one. We're going to take this line. Arrow does consolidate everything. That means they don't get the double that they were expecting. We get the buffs on the Kraven as it happened. Shang-Chi. Kraven was not big enough. Cosmo came in. They wanted the Surfer, but then he's completely picked by their own Cosmo. And they had the Absorbing Man to come in, so they were going to Surfer twice and then Absorbing Man Surfer a thrice time. Wow. So there is our movement deck. I have been a long time Heimdall enjoyer. I've been playing it, trying to fit it in every single season, and this is the best movement deck that my fingers have ever touched. Got us 5 ranks this season, and then we hit rank 95, and let me tell you guys, we hit the swamp. Oh man, never ending. Thanos, never ending. Shuri, though we had to go to Old Reliable to get us across the finish line. Devil Dinosaur has never been bad. Calling this deck Sorta Good Cards. Good Cards Dino archetype. Well, Dinosaur got us across the line last season, free to play as well, and he didn't let us down here. So this has a remarkably similar play style to the Zabu Moonzu. You have the Moon Girl, you have the Sunspot, you have the She-Hulk, you have the Quinjet, you have the Hood. This lets you play a very similar play pattern, but instead of the Zoo shell, it's the Devil Dinosaur shell with Arrow as well, and it just stood up a little bit better on crossing the finish line. I love this deck. The deck has always come through for me, and honestly, it's Agent Coulson is the real sleeper here. What he's able to do alongside Quinjet is incredible, and especially with Collector Devil Dinosaur set up on the board, he pulls more than his weight. I used to say that it was Agent 13 top of the agents, and then everybody else was bad, but maybe Coulson was second, but it wasn't even close. Now it's close. Coulson might actually overtake Agent 13 to be my favorite agent. We'll see if we ever get there. Let's dive in for some showcase. Sunspot Collector Devil D with a Tinkerer's Workshop buff up and roll. Been playing him a couple times this afternoon. Get Collector developed, go Sunspot Hood. Don't mind if I do. And then a Quinjet, please. Please, sir, can I have a Quinjet? Yeah. Shuri player. We get the Gamma Lab. Well, you know, a Neg 2 turning into a Hulk sounds incredible to me. Sunspot up as well. You could throw the Zabu in here as well, looking at the Moon Girl and the White Queen to get that extra efficiency. And the card that Agent Coulson generates is going to be decreased in cost based on your Zabu. You probably cut Collector. It hurts me because Collector used to be one of my favorite cards. Now, you do whatever you can to get ahead. And I think Zabu would do a little bit more for you. You can also entertain Shang-Chi, but I like just sitting with Arrow. Saving the Sunspot? Well, how nice of you, sir, Polaris. How nice of you. If you'd saved the Hood, I would have been a little mad. But the Sunspot, having him stick around's fine by me, especially because I'm still ahead on Hulks. Now, I just play Agent. Yep. I'll be able to play She-Hulk next turn. Atuma. It's not Atuma. Moon Girl. I think I do need to just Hulk. Devil Dinosaur is not very big. Not very big at all. But if I did Dino Moon Girl, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's as powerful as dropping She-Hulk. Getting the extra on the Sunspot. Now the Moon Girl would be able to buff the Collector as well. You have the pads forked. Maybe I took the road less traveled on, and maybe I was the better for it. What's the opponent looking to be able to develop? I mean, Shuri. But on turn 5, do you still play Shuri, especially when you're behind in all lanes? Probably not. Do you just hope that a She-Hulk Taskmaster... No, that doesn't sound good. I think we snapped. I think we should have snapped earlier, come to think of it. Okay, they already had the very cheap She-Hulk, and then they locked it in. Cosmo's gonna say no Shang-Chi's, no funny business. Which my Arrow would have normally loved to participate in. But as it is, I mean, I can just get the go-ahead on the Devil Dinosaur right here. Do you have... They could actually just like Arrow Titania on me. Nope, okay. We clutch it out. Moon Girl Hood She-Hulk. Yeah, this is looking like a Zabumanzu deckhand where we got the Devil Dinosaur. Do I just play Demon? I think, oh, never mind. Definitely going to play Devil D here. Arg? You're golden. The Sunspot gets to absorb all of this extra. Yeah, Devil Dino. If I pass on 2, you're going to be a 4. That's too expensive. So I'll just go ahead and I will play Demon. In fact, feeling the Sacred Timeline could be pretty good for us with that opening hand. It seemed pretty solid.
I am Iron Man.
Iron Man Angela. What deck are you playing, early balance patch, please? And how can I mess with it? That's always the question. Isle of Silence. Give me Agent. This means that I can play the She-Hulk next turn. Or one of them. I believe I'll have 2. Because it was Moon Girl, Demon, She-Hulk was the opening hand, so I get those 3 back. Will I use the other Demon? Maybe. And then generates Jug. Okay. Interesting tactic the opponent is employing here. Do I care about fighting over Project Pegasus? You got the Iron Man there, you got the Angela. I'll just let you have this one as a win. It's some kind of interesting mid-range. Highly efficient mid-range. My Juggernaut might have something to say about what you can do with it. I mean, I could Hood here. Yeah. Hood gives me Demon. Juggernaut clears space. Is Shang-Chi just gonna come in and clap me here? Maybe. If I play Quinjet, then the Demon is free and can still combo alongside the She-Hulk. But then I have less points on Devil Dinosaur. So I think I leave Quinjet in hand. That's a lot of cards. You have to have Mysterio in here somehow, right? Yes. Mysterio. Where did you play the real Mysterio? What doesn't matter? Wolfbane getting big, but even if you have the extra 4 and you pass on the Sunspot, I still beat you. That's the crucial thing. They'd be able to go up by 10. You're confident? Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is bouncing out. Oh, I like that mid-range deck. I really do. But Sacred Timeline able to give us the fill-in, and then just Devil Dino stampedes over the opposition. So here we are, the most successful free-to-play deck that I have found over the past 2 seasons. Admittedly, the breadth of seasons doesn't matter as much because it's been in the exact same meta. It was climbing against Shuri, it was climbing against Thanos. It's been all on the same balance patch, even though it has spanned the 2 seasons. I love this deck. Would love to hear down in the comments how these decks serve you guys on your climb up to infinite. And if you guys pick up any of the decks, then I hope you gain many cubes as you pilot them forward. Till next time, thank you guys for watching. Keep on snapping.